Hi, hello my friends. It is so very good to be with you again today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If we've not met before, my name is Tracy Fair. I am one of the online educators with Heartfelt Creations. I'm based out of Manitoba, Canada, and I am so excited to be back with you on another Friday. So, tell me, have you checked out the newest saving promotions on the website that just started this morning? It is the Floral Bundle Savings Promotion, and I wanted to show you 3 of my favorite products that are on sale right now at that 20% savings. So come on in, let's pop on over to the work surface, and we will give you all the details on this card as well as the savings promotion as well. So if you're going to head on over to www.heartfeltcreations.us, I have a moderator that'll be dropping that link here for us shortly as well. We have the Floral Bundle Savings event starting today. That's going to be 20% off of all of the floral bundles that you find on that landing page that it's going to take you to. So I thought, what a great way to discuss beautiful floral clusters, as well as 3 of my favorite flowers that I just love using to mix and match to make elegant floral clusters. You'll see here, I've got the Sweet Peony. We have not visited that one for quite some time. It is one of my all-time favorites, so I was super excited to be able to showcase that one with you again today. We have the Sweet Magnolia. Aren't they just absolutely stunning? That is a flower you have seen me mix with several other flowers recently as well. The Festive Poinsettia, remember when we did that on the Easy Stem Wire? The Sweet Magnolia is one that if you don't have in your stash, I would encourage you to pick up today because it mixes and matches and makes the most elegant floral clusters with whatever larger flower you're going to want to use. And then of course, no floral cluster is complete without tiny little baby accent flowers. The Lush lilac is also on that savings promotion today at 20% off. Of course, you're getting the stamp, the die, and the shaping mold. So what a great time to catch up on those bundles that maybe you've missed out on previously, or you're seeing a new flower that's going to be just absolutely awesome that you want to add to your stash. I'm going to walk you through how to create each and every one of these flowers. So it's going to be super easy for you to come back to this video and relearn how to create these if this is something new, that's something new to you. Good morning, Lucille. Good to see you. Urana, my friend, good to see you. Marla, hello, hello, hello. Clarabelle, I'm so glad you're able to join us this morning. I'm so glad you're enjoying the card. Laura, hello, my friend. It's so good to see you. Alka, so many familiar friends that are joining us this morning. Good morning, Carrie from Norway. So glad you're able to join us here as well. So before we begin, let's take a look at some of the products we're going to be using here today. So we're going to start out with the Sweet Peony. So the Sweet Peony has several sizes, stamps, and dies to it. We've got the large Sweet Peony, which is the one we're going to be using to create this largest one here. So we're going to be using the large Sweet Peony. You're going to see that it has the 2 different sizes, and it has also the larger sizes of the foliage as well. Of course, those dies that do all of the heavy cutting for us, that make things so very quick and easy. We have the small Sweet Peony. That's what I've gone ahead and created the smaller version here as well. Now I did go online this morning and I did notice that we are already sold out of these small Sweet Peonies. So I'm not sure whether we just sold out that fast due to the promotion overnight when things would have started off at midnight, but I did want to let you know for the small Sweet Peony, if you're interested, you can go ahead and pop your email into the notify me box when you're going to click on the small Sweet Peony, and you're going to be notified when that comes back into stock. So here you're going to see there are 3 different sizes included in this one. We're going to use these today. I opted not to use the smallest version in this design because I wanted to use the lilacs as a really different filler flower, but you could definitely use these guys as singles, as filler flowers as well. They would be gorgeous. So here you'll see we have some smaller foliage. You can see here the difference just in the foliage sizes there, you have a really great range with the Sweet Peony. Of course, that coordinating die that's going to do all that heavy lifting for the cutting. And when it comes to shaping molds, the Sweet Peony was released before we had coordinating shaping molds at that time. So luckily, Heartfelt Creations came out with a floral basic shaping mold. This is going to work with all of your flowers that do not have a coordinating shaping mold. They're going to give you just a basic shaping that you can then continue to add some hand shaping on top of if you want to create a different look. But we're going to be using the basic shaping mold with the Sweet Peony today. So before we take a look at any more products, how about if we just simply go ahead and work with our Sweet Peony, and then we'll just go through the products as we work through our flowers. So you're going to see it here. I've got the 3 different sizes, well 4 because this comes on one stamp, but the different sizes here that we already talked about. I've gone ahead and I've colored them up in a French ultramarine. Now I don't know about you, I used to work in a florist shop and it used to drive me crazy when we would spray paint flowers, okay? It was very common, you know, if you had like a baby boy back then, we would spray paint the carnations blue. So for me, this is a bit of a reach. I normally stick to true colors for flowers, but I wanted to show you today how awesome the Sweet Peony is going to look in any color you decide to create. So I'm going to say Sweet Peony is one that is fantastic for mixing and matching your colors and just playing around with the color wheel a little bit. So we've stamped it up in French ultramarine. We are going to go ahead and actually color with that same color and just give it a bit of a lighter base coat here. I'm going to go around in the center. I'm using my Stack and Store daubers. You'll see just circular motions and I'm just coloring up portions of this. I'm not going to go in and color everywhere with this blue because I want to go in and add the green accent in there as well to get that kind of almost mermaid teal blue kind of looking flower. So when you're creating your flowers, as I'm doing here today, the paper you use is really important actually. If you're wanting that super professional result each and every time, I really encourage you to use our deluxe flower shaping paper. It has been engineered specifically for the flower shaping process. It's going to take that tiny bit of water that you need to go ahead and spray into the shaping mold to break the fibers. It's also going to keep your colors very nice and true when you're stamping on that as well. So while regular cardstock definitely does work, that's how we all started out, I am going to say the deluxe flower shaping paper is going to give you a much more consistent result simply because it has been specifically engineered for this particular process. So you're going to see here I'm going in and I'm adding that beautiful green. That beautiful green is called Viridian. It's just a really, really nice green that's going to complement that French ultramarine color so perfectly. I did play around with several different colors of greens and blues, and I have to say this is the color combination that I just really, really landed up enjoying the most, and I thought you guys would as well. So there you can see, super quick and easy. We've gone ahead and colored up that flower. I know it's super easy to get distracted by all the coloring outside the lines. It doesn't look so great at the moment. It looks a little bit splotchy or whatever. Don't worry about that. By the time we're going to have this all cut, die cut, and shaped up, you're not going to notice any of this. It's going to blend just absolutely beautifully. Okay, let's move along here to our foliage pieces. I've gone ahead and I've stamped them in olive today. I wanted a bit of a darker color. We're going to go in and we're going to go ahead and add some of the Vivid Chartreuse. Again, that is a little bit more of a brighter green. But you can see how that's just going to be a really nice complement to the peony color that we're already using. So again, there we go. Just some simple coloring techniques today. Nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary. We're going to keep it really simple for right now. Of course, we would use our coordinating dies. I have one of mine here. You can see how I would just lay this over top. I would then run this through my die cutting machine and I would have all of these pieces cut out for me at once. I have a larger die cutting machine, so I'm able to cut all of these at once. And then of course we have these 4 different sizes here. I like to lay them out for you so you guys can see them in decreasing size. And there would also be a tiny one here on the end as well. Good morning, Brenda, my friend. I'm so glad you were able to make it. Karen, the best paper ever. I agree. It is fantastic and simple to use. It really does bring your flower shaping up to the next level, doesn't it? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is I wanted to give these guys a little bit of a punch. So I grabbed my Seafarer. I really like this color. It's almost like I want to say, you know, like blue algae, almost kind of like a dark blue-green algae in the ocean or in a lake. That's kind of what this kind of reminds me of, and maybe that's why they named it Seafarer. I don't know. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do the tips here, and that's just going to give us a really nice finished look to the petals here on the peony as well. Peony is one that I really always like to make sure I'm edging the tips of my petals. There's just something about it that makes this flower pop and come alive. So again, you can see it doesn't take that much time, super quick and easy. You can see the difference there, how it's just got a little bit more definition, a little bit more interest. So again, the peony, the way it shapes, I do prefer to color the back of the peony. So I'm going to grab just a piece of scrap paper here and just show you really quickly how I go ahead and do this. So I'm going to grab my Seafarer and I'm going to start with the darker color here as well. And I'm just going to go in and hit the tips the same way I did on the other one. I'm not going to be fussy about my coloring here on this at all, because chances are you're not going to see a ton of this from behind, but you will see enough that you probably don't want it to be completely white. Then I'm going to go back in and grab my French ultramarine color, and we're going to go back in and color the same way we did the front. So again, I'm not worried about hitting all of it because we have that green color to come in here yet too. So just really quickly and easily. Looks like my French ultramarine could use some refreshening with a re-inker. It's kind of getting kind of light, hey? And then of course we're going to go back in with that Viridian color and just kind of pop that in so that we're having that color appear and match the front as well. Get some in the center. So there you can see, now if those petals are going to curl and twist so that we can see the back, it's going to mimic what we have going on in the front as well. So we'll set this to the side and we'll grab our basic shaping mold. So as I said, the Sweet Peony does not have the coordinating shaping mold. It came out before molds came along. So luckily Heartfelt Creations has designed the basic shaping mold for all of those flowers that we had before the shaping molds came out, which is a huge hand saver as well for those of us who have dexterity problems, arthritis, that sort of thing. So you're going to see here, I already have some of these shaped. Gail, the question is, can you color with one solid color, my friend, you can do whatever your heart desires because you're the designer. Absolutely, you could do with one solid color for sure. Always remember that what you're seeing here is a suggestion. When you are at your craft table, you are the designer and you get to play and experiment with whatever you so desire. Hello, Estella, my friend. It's so good to see you as well. Helene, you like coloring your backs while they are still in the die cuts? Yes, that works as well. Definitely. You could do that as well. So here we go. You can see I've gone ahead and I've popped these into the shaping mold. I've gone ahead and done 3 layers of these at once. We're going to use 3 of the large size and we're going to use 2 of the next size down. So these are the ones that come from the large sweet peony. And these are the smaller guys. I won't be demoing them today, but I did want to show you that they fit into here as well. And the tiny little guys would fit in here as well. So again, as I mentioned, you guys are the designer. Stamped up, stamped side down, it doesn't matter. You're going to just create 2 different looks on your petals. So for this one, I chose to do stamped side down. Now remember I said this paper was engineered to take that tiny spray of water you're needing to break the fibers. All we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to spray that with a quick spritz of water. We're going to go ahead and clamp our mold together. I use a big shot to do my flower shaping, so I would have my clear plate on top, my clear plate on bottom. I would run that through my die cutting machine and I would have the results that we just saw there before. Now, if you're going to be layering these up, the next flower I would put on and I would give it another spray. I would put the 3rd one on top and then do another spray on top of that as well. So you want to make sure this first flower you're not oversaturating for sure, because you have 3 more layers coming on top if that's what you so desire. So here we are. We have our pieces here already. You can see that they have all started and gotten some beautiful shaping. You can see that the tips there have all those creases put in there for you like we used to have to do by hand. So all we're going to do now is we're going to grab our flower shaping mat and we're going to go ahead and just give these guys a bit of a rounding here in the center. That's just going to get our petals to pull up ever so slightly, and just like this. And then we can manipulate and play with them by hand as well. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to go in and pinch pleat just a few of these petals just to give some of them a little bit of a different look. I'm going to curl some up. Some will stay curled down. You can just do this all by hand. You could use your golf tools if you have that and are ready to do that as well. We're just going to do the same thing here. Some can come up. Some can go down, some can be pinch pleated. Again, as much work as you're wanting to put into it, and depending on what you want your flower to look like. The peony is one that I just love to play around with the petals because you can have it and create with so many different looks with it. It's just such an awesome, awesome flower. Just like that. So then what we can do is we can start layering up. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some hot glue here. And I'm going to offset my petals to try and make sure I don't have the same style petal exactly happening at the same place. And you can see how that's going to start popping up there like that. I can go ahead and bend some of these kind of further in the back so that they kind of create a base. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with this next layer. So again, I've used 3 of the largest size. I'm going to make sure I offset my petals here one more time. 3 of the largest size, and then 3 of the next, 2 of the next size down from the large sweet peony. So again, they come together as one stamp. So this large one is 3 of these and 2 of these, okay? So here you can see we have a really nice full base starting. You can kind of manipulate your petals in any way, shape, or form that you want. And we're going to do something a little bit different with these guys. These guys I'm going to start pulling in because I actually want these guys to cup a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just doing a little bit of pushing and pulling here so that this one is actually going to start cupping ever so slightly. You can see how that's going to change that look there. And now we're going to go ahead and add that into the center. We're going to do the same thing with this one because I want to use 2 of these layers. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and start folding some of this over so that it looks like it's going to cup. Super quick and easy. You can kind of start pushing it together and you can see how that's now going to almost start to form a bit of a bud. If you wanted to do a bud, you could totally go ahead and start this way and you'd have a beautiful bud that you could add into your floral cluster, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy in first. I don't want him to be as tight because we do want to add that second layer in on him. So there we go. You can see how that is now starting to come together, just like that. And here we're going to go ahead and add this guy in here. And you're going to see how that's going to fill out the center really nicely. And of course, you can keep playing with it until it's exactly how you want it. But isn't that super pretty how that came together? I think you can even bend these guys in further if you want. Again, you're the designer. You get to keep playing with it until you're happy with it. But isn't that super pretty? Just like that. So there we go. We have our large sweet peony. We're going to set him off to the side and we will talk about the next flower. So the next flower that we're going to visit is the sweet magnolia. So the sweet magnolia blooms come in the 3 different sizes as well, and you have 2 beautiful leaf sizes to go along with them. And of course we have the coordinating die and we have the sweet magnolia shaping mold. So you're going to see us use this in just a second here. Quick and easy, just the way that we did the sweet peony as well. But this one you'll notice is designed specifically for this flower. So this has been a later release after the shaping molds have come around. So here you can see, I'm going to do them this way. I've got the sweet magnolia here. I've gone ahead and stamped them in Memento New Sprout. This is my go-to when I want to create a white flower. So that's what I've gone ahead and done. The sweet magnolia has been stamped in the New Sprout. I know it's kind of hard to see because they land up looking really white in the end. So all we're going to do with this one is we are going to do a simple coloring in the center just so that we have that little bit of grounding for this flower when it's going to be in the cluster. So again, circular motion with your sponge dauber, your stack and store daubers, and there you can see we have it quickly and easy colored them up. Because I want them to stay white, that's exactly where we're going to leave them. You can see here that I've gone ahead and again stamped that foliage in the same olive. Now I want these to be a little bit more a little bit darker, different than the other color that we colored the other foliage. So we're just going to go ahead and keep it with the same color palette. We're going to use the olive, and that way we have beautiful contrasting foliage that doesn't look exactly all the same green as well. So there you can see, just quick and easy to color up. I'm not worried if there's a little bit of white in there. It's all going to blend beautifully in the long run. Okay, so again, I would go ahead and I would do my die cutting with the coordinating dies. And here we go. Here's our sweet magnolias in our shaping mold. So you can see the 3 different sizes here. I'll lay them out so you can see them in descending sizes. Really, really nice flower to work with. If you are someone who's new to the flower shaping process, the Sweet Magnolia is a fantastic one to begin with. You can see here that all that beautiful shaping has been done for you. It's beautifully and deeply etched. I'm going to pop those to the side, and we're going to go ahead and pop those guys out. You can see the same thing with the flowers, just beautifully already shaped for you. And then, of course, we would just go ahead and pop these into the coordinating cavities. These I did do the stamp side up, but as I mentioned earlier, play around with it. You get 2 different looks when you put the stamp side up or when you put the stamp side down. So again, you are the designer. So again, we would just clamp this, run this through our die cutting machine, and we have just a really nice amount of flowers to work with here. So I'm going to grab 2 of the largest ones here. I think they're the easiest to see on screen for us to work with. And I'm just going to go ahead and round out these centers just so that you can see now how those petals have popped up off of that page or off of the shaping mat. Flower centers. We're going to use stamens this time for this one. I've gone ahead and I've used the pastel pearl, the pastel bead medium stamens. We've gone ahead and used this green because I want to keep this flower looking white. I'm going to go with that same green color that I used and match it up with my stamens. Now you're going to notice these stamens are on a wire. Okay, so these are really simple and easy to use. I'm going to go ahead and grab my piercing block here from my flower shaping kit and my piercing tool. And I'm just going to go ahead and give that a quick hole in the center. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and just pop that stamen through. I like to seal mine up here in the center, so I give it a quick dab of hot glue from the top. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab this one here and pop this one up. We're going to offset our petals, but then what I like to do is before I go ahead to join them, I give them a dab of hot glue there and then pull it up. So there you can see how it's coming together. Just like that. Now I like to seal my flowers from the back as well. So I give them a little bit of some glue there at the back as well. We'll lay that aside to dry, and then when that is dry later on, all you do is you go ahead and cut that wire piece off. I encourage you to keep these wire pieces. When you're working with the string stamens, they come in super handy when you're needing a wire to bind them together in a bundle. So make sure that you are keeping these here as well. Okay, that's as quickly and easily as a sweet magnolia comes together. Throw me some hearts if you're loving that. Like really a beautiful flower with gorgeous impact that's super quick and easy to do. Okay, next we're going to look at the Lush lilac. You can see I have them stamped up here already. I'm going to go ahead and grab the bundle here for you. So the bundle that is 20% off today for the Lush Lilac includes the Lush Lilac. So here you're going to see you have the stamped image where you're actually going to be able to build a lilac cluster all on its own. They are beautiful. They're absolutely stunning when you build and layer all of the dimensional florals onto this stamped image. Today though, we're just going to use them as a filler flower because they are so versatile for that as well. So of course we have that coordinating die. That's what the die looks like. So you're cutting out a bunch of these all at once. And of course we have the Lush lilac shaping mold, where you're just popping them into the coordinating cavities and making a ton of little lilac flowers for your projects all at once. Fantastic. So again, I've gone ahead and I have stamped these in the pink peony. I thought a really pretty soft pink would be a gorgeous accent to the blue and the white flowers that we were already creating. So here I'm just going to go ahead and give these guys the lightest coloring of pink. I don't want them to be stark. I really wanted these just to be like a baby pink. So you can see there, it's just the slightest amount of color that I've gone ahead and added to those florals. Because what we're going to do is we're going to give these a pretty little white center. So of course we die cut those, and here is our shaping mold already filled. There you go. You can see I'll pop those out. There we go. Super quick and easy, just like the other molds. I won't run through the process again because you guys have already seen that twice, how that works. But you can see here how these little guys have their tips flipped up already. The edging has already been done for you. So again, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and grab our shaping tool, give them just a quick pop in the center so that those leaves are going to lift off. And then what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and grab some Bridal Boutique stamens. These are the small white ones. These are fantastic if you're needing to color up some stamens for a coordinating project, or if you're wanting to do some white. You have some rock candy in there. You have some with it almost looks like a little bit of feathery fur. You have the different sizes. Some are glittered. We're going to use the long, more like the oblong shape today that's already been sparkled up, just to give our lilacs a little bit of interest. So we'll do one here just so you can see how quick and easy it is. I'm just going to go ahead and pop a hole in the center there with my piercing tool. I've got my stamens here. I'm just going to go ahead and grab one of these guys out of here. These are the thread stamens. You can see like they are not like the wire, but because we're only using one today, it's super quick and easy to just thread that through. You're not having to worry about wiring them like you would have to if you were doing a clustered stamen center. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to pop that into place. I'm going to do the same thing with my hot glue. Again, I'm just going to make sure that that's going to stay in place by adding a little bit of hot glue and then pulling it through. And then what we're going to do is we're going to seal that up from the back as well. Okay. We're going to set him aside to dry. And then we have one more element that I wanted to share with you today. This is the Leafy accents. This is not included in the Floral Bundles savings promotion that started today. However, I find it pretty much impossible to go ahead and build a gorgeous floral cluster without my Leafy accents. This is just part of the bread and butter recipe that you use when you're building a floral cluster. So of course we have the Leafy accents. We're going to be using both of these today. I had enough filler flowers from the peony and or enough filler leaves in the smaller sizes from the Sweet Magnolia and the peony. So we're just going to stick to these two here. Of course, the coordinating die and the shaping mold here as well, that we'll see how to use that in just a second. So let's go ahead and do a quick color up of these guys as well. Again, I've stamped them in that Ranger Archival Ink Olive. We're going to go ahead and actually use a 2-color combination on these guys today. We're going to go ahead and use some leaf green. And I'm just going to go in and again, circular motions, just coloring in. This time I'm going to purposefully leave some sections uncolored because I actually want to go in and hit these leaves with some of the pink peony, the same color that we stamped and colored the lilacs in. It's just going to be a really nice addition to your floral cluster as well. So there you can see I've gone ahead and added the leaf green. And then we're going to go ahead and just add a little bit of pink to a few of these, just so it's going to coordinate with our floral cluster as well. So again, these are not included in the 20% off floral bundle savings promotion today, but if you're an insider member, remember you get to use your 20% off on top of this. So it's 20% off of your floral bundles on top of the 20% being offered. And on your leafy accents, if you chose to purchase those today, you would receive a 20% off if you're an insider member as well. We're going to pop a link to the insider membership for you guys here in the live as well, in case you're not familiar with it. It's a wonderful program with so many fantastic perks. Super savings. You get 20% off of all of your products. You have free shipping in the US, and of course 20% off for our international friends, and of course access to all of our online classes, which retail at $29.99 for the duration of your insider membership. So we will pop that in to the links below, and you guys can take a look at that as well. So again, same process. We would use our deluxe flower shaping, or we would use our dies to die cut and then use our shaping molds. And here you can see that beautiful shaping that's already done for you. You just pop them out. Same technique that I showed you guys earlier on with all of the other shaping molds. Okay, that brings us now to going ahead and starting to build our floral cluster on a card. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm keeping you probably a little bit longer today. It is a bit of a bigger project, but I wanted to show you everything from start to finish today. So here you can see I've gone ahead and I have my card front created. And I've gone ahead and I've used the new rectangle filigree frames. This was a new release last week, if you remember. So I've gone ahead and opted to use that. I've created a 6x8 card simply because it's a larger floral cluster and I wanted a bigger palette to balance it on. So if you were to create this card in a 5x7, you would have, it would end exactly where this greenish color paper is, where the frame die ends, because this is a 5x7. Okay, so a great, beautiful, delicate die cut that's going to be perfect for layering up your floral clusters. I've gone ahead and used the Floral Shop paper today from the Floral Shop collection. It has all of the beautiful blues and green tones that we were going to use. So that was a great paper color choice. If you are interested in a color palette of blues and greens and beautiful yellows, the Floral Shop paper collection is the one you'll want to pick up today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our leafy accents, because that's how I'm going to start our base today. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and create an X. X is going to mark the spot on where we want our floral clusters happening. Just like that. I'm going to grab two of the same here. And we're going to carry that on just there like that. And then we're going to grab two of the vines, the ones that have the vines, and we're going to go ahead and There we go. Just pop them into place because I really want a nice bed of leaves to start off my floral cluster. Okay, you're going to see I'm missing a leaf here. Don't ever panic about that. I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's on my floor here somewhere. I couldn't find it, but I'm not too worried about it. It's going to be hidden. If a leaf ever pops out on you, you can always add it on. You can glue it in, or of course you can just, there will be other elements in this floral cluster to go ahead and cover that up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start grabbing our flowers here and we'll start laying them out. So here's our large peony. And we kind of want that to be the center. That's the one that's going to take center stage. So we kind of want to lay that out first. The thing that I really liked about this card was it could be portrait or it could be landscape as well. The decision is yours to make, right? Because the way it's been built, it can go either direction. So I think that looks about right from what I'm seeing here on the camera, and I think we're going to go ahead and we're just going to add those into place. I'm using hot glue simply because we need this to be fast for you guys today. As I mentioned, I'm sorry I'm keeping you guys a really long time today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join me and stay with me. So there you can see how that's going to come together nicely there as well. Now we're going to grab our magnolias here and we're going to kind of start figuring out where our magnolias are going to make the most sense. I'm going to put a large one up there. I think we can fit something like that up there. Leaves. I did want to quickly show you. There's not a mold for the peony leaves, but I did want to show you how quickly and easily they really do shape up. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these here like this. I'm going to give them just a quick spritz of water. I'm going to grab my shaping tool here and I'm just going to go ahead and run that down. If you want some of them to run a different way, you can do from the front as well. That's going to just give them two different looks, right? One's going to curl towards the back, one's going to curl towards the front. So again, super quick and easy. I'm just going to give that a press there on the bottoms so that we're going to have some glue points. Sorry, I've got glue strings happening here. Going to pop those off to the side because we're going to be using them here in just a minute. I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab some of these smaller ones and start popping them in here as well. Just like that. We'll go ahead and add our large magnolia here on the bottom. Just like that. And you can see I've kind of tipped it off to the side so it's growing out kind of almost from behind the peony. I'm not just plunking it straight down onto the design. And we've got one that's gonna nest in there very nicely. Just like that. We've got another mid-size one. This is the medium size that we're gonna pop onto the bottom here, right next to the other one. And again, I'm gonna have it kind of off to the side, just like that. Give it a second to set there. We're going to grab some of the magnolia leaves here now as well. I'm going to take a larger magnolia leaf and I'm going to pop that up in here because we can see we have a bit of a bare spot in there. Just like that. We can take a smaller one and pop that down here to fill in some area as well. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my stylus and just push it in there a little bit, just like that. And you can see how those foliage pieces all beautifully complement each other. We're going to grab these smaller ones up here and we're going to add them to the top. Just like that. And then I always like to, in a floral cluster, have some that are a little bit off on their own. Like they were kind of growing in a different direction, kind of off doing their own thing, right? Just like that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a few more leaves here as well. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the peony leaves down here at the bottom. We've got some really nice tiny ones we can add in. Just like that. And we can tuck some behind here as well. That's going to finish up our corner there quite nicely. We can also add in some more magnolia leaves up in here. Just like that. And we'll go ahead and add a few more sweet peony leaves up in here. And we'll do one smaller one. Just like that. Now we have our cluster going asymmetrically across our card just by adding in the pointed corners of our pieces here as well. And I think we're looking pretty balanced for the most part there. I am going to go back in though, and I am going to take and snip off some of these guys because I would really like a little bit more of the vining pieces. Let's figure out where we want to put them. That probably looks about right. I just want a little bit of those vining pieces to show up a little bit more. So we have a little bit more of a mix and match right there like that. Now let's go ahead and bring our Lush lilacs in. And we're going to go ahead and grab one more here. I think I'm going to pop that in there as well, just to soften the look of those peony leaves. That's coming together well, just like that. And now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start adding in some of our lilacs. We're going to pop one up in here. And you're going to see how that pink is really going to bring some pretty color and interest to that card yet too. Doesn't that Lush lilac make an awesome little filler flower? Especially done in that beautiful baby pink. And then we'll do one more at the bottom here. There you can see how that all came together really beautifully, quickly, and easily. You could keep playing on this for hours yet if you wanted to keep adding florals in different places and leaves in different places. But for time right now, we'll call this good. I wanted to show you yet how to finish off the peony there with a center. It doesn't have a center yet, so we want to go ahead and use some Prills. Today we're going to use Sage Advice. So it's a really pretty greeny turquoise type color. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to drop some hot glue in the center there. I think I need to add another glue stick here. See if that'll help. There we go. So we're just going to mound that in the center there. I'm going to go ahead and drop my Prills in. Make sure it's all covered. And then, of course, we're going to dump this, and they're going to bounce everywhere. But there you can see, deep down inside, it has those beautiful turquoisey Prills that are going to match that beautiful turquoise color that you've used and created with that beautiful Viridian green and the French ultramarine color. So we will tidy these Prills up here so they don't go all over the place. And then, of course, we want to do some glittering. Now, for glittering, what we use is we use a piece of Hydro Sponge, which I have right here. And you're going to see this is super quick and easy. I'm going to use my Crystal Clear, which is a beautiful assortment of glitters and sparkles and just absolutely a gorgeous shimmer and shine. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dries Clear adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and apply it to my Hydro Sponge. Just like that. And I'm just going to go ahead and start hitting the petals of the flowers, the leaves, and then we're going to go ahead and add that gorgeous sparkle this way. So there you can see on the Sweet Magnolia for sure. I'll show you the finished one because you'll be able to see it a little bit easier. But you can see how that sparkle is now going to finish off the project beautifully. So one last look at our finished project here. You can see there how that shimmer and shine takes effect there. Just beautiful. When your glue dries clear, you have all that beautiful, beautiful sparkle on your floral cluster. So I do hope you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today. Remember, take advantage of those floral bundles happening right now. That promotion is running until Sunday, October the 9th. at 11:59 p.m. or of course while supplies last. So again, thank you so much for allowing me almost an hour of your time today. I know we went a lot over time, but I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you've been encouraged to give each and every one of these flowers a try. I can't wait to see what you're going to create with your flower bundles and the beautiful clusters that you're going to create as well. All right, take care, my friend. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.